Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer, and today I would like to explain why I believe studying economic thought is still relevant till today. So, economic thought may seem old or theoretical, but the ideas developed by the early economists still shape almost every major decision made by government, businesses, and also individuals. So, first, studying economics thoughts helps us understand how we got here, the policies we use today, whether it's taxation, trade, interest rates, or welfare, were all built on the foundations laid by economists from 100 years ago. When we understand the origins of these ideas, we can better understand why our system look the way they do right now. Second, the economic thought forces us to think critically about the human behavior. Even though our world is modern, human nature hasn't changed. We still respond to incentives, we still make trade offs, we still face scarcity. And earlier economists tried to understand these patterns, and their insights actually still help us interpret things like inflation, rising rents, market competition, global production, and the other stuffs. Third, studying these ideas actually gives us perspective. Many of today's debates, such as free markets versus government intervention, globalization versus protectionism, or anything, are not new debates at all. So they all have been happening for centuries. Learning about economic thought help us see that our current issues are part of the long intellectual conversation. It has been there for ever, I would say. So, one of the economists who continues to stand out for me is Adam Smith. So he is often called the father of the economics, even though he wrote in the 18th century. I feel like his ideas surprisingly still pretty relevant today. So in the Wealth of Nations, Smith introduced the idea of invisible hands. So the idea that individuals pursuing their own interests can unintentionally contribute to the overall benefit of the society. We see this clearly today in the way markets coordinate millions of decisions without central planning, from pricing goods, allocating resources, to encouraging innovation. So another example is Smith's idea of the division of labor. So he argued that specialization dramatically increases productivity. So this concept is visible everywhere in modern factories and hospitals where different specialists work together, and software development everywhere. What I love about Adam Smith is that he was not blindly pro-market. People often forget that Smith also warned about monopolies, corruption, and the need for moral responsibility. His arguments were balanced, realistic, and very human. To me, that makes his work even more important today, because we live in a world where both the benefits and the problems of markets are bigger than ever. So why does this all still matter? So because understanding economic thought actually helps us to interpret the world that we live in right now. When we study Adam Smith, we'll learn why competition matters, why specialization increases productivity, and why incentives shapes behavior. This principle still guide how countries design policies, how business create their values, and how individuals makes their final decisions. More broadly, studying economics, thought teaches us how to think, how to analyze trade-offs, how to recognize unseen consequences, and how to evaluate arguments instead of just reacting emotionally. And in the world filled with misinformation, political bias, and oversimplified social media opinions, economic thinking actually gives us clarity. So finally, economic thought reminds us that progress is built on ideas. The world we live in was shaped by the thinkers who came before us, and the ideas we choose to understand today will influence the decisions that we make tomorrow. So, in conclusion, studying economic thought is not about memorizing old theories, it's about understanding the foundations of the modern society and learning how to think critically. And through economists like Adam Smith, we gain timeless insights to markets, human behavior, and also the functioning of the economy itself. And that is why I believe economic thought remains deeply relevant today. Thank you for your attention, and that's all from me. Thank you.